Hi, everybody. So today we're going to talk about a really important concept. It shouldn't take us long, but it's really important. All right. So you make all these different hormones, right? You've got growth hormone, and you've got thyroid stimulating hormone, and you've got luteinizing hormone, and there's adrenaline and insulin, right? We've got all these different hormones made by all these different glands, and they're talking to other parts of the body through the bloodstream. Now, let's start with growth hormone. Now, remember, the pituitary gland, right in the middle of your head, makes growth hormone. It goes into your bloodstream and travels around, and it makes your long bones, like your thigh bones, grow long. It doesn't make your cheekbones big. That would be weird if you started growing big cheekbones, right? So somehow, the chemical that's produced, the growth hormone that's produced by the pituitary gland, knows to just completely skip over your cheekbones, but attach to your thigh bones and make them long. How does it do that? Well, this is what we're going to talk about today. The long bones are called their target, okay? And they attach to their target. They will not attach to their non-target. They will only attach to their target, and they do that by shape. On the outside of all of your cells, you have proteins. So if you imagine this is a cell, you've got proteins on the outside. Like we talked about in a synapse, there's proteins all over all your cells. And some of the cells will have proteins that are shaped like this, and some of the cells will have proteins that are shaped like this. Now, if you have an endocrine gland, like say the pituitary gland, making a hormone that's going in the blood, say growth hormone, the proteins on the outside of your cheekbones might look like that, and it won't attach. It'll just go sailing right by because there's no receptors on the cheekbone cells for the growth hormone to attach to. And it'll just keep on cruising, and then whammo, it gets to the leg, and on the long bones in the leg, there's receptors, proteins on the outside of the cell that the growth hormone fits to, and it starts making changes in there, and it tells the bone to grow. So it's really like a puzzle piece. And the key concept is that the key term, I should say, is that the protein on the outside of the target cell is called a receptor. It receives the hormone. And so you can see it over here. You've got an endocrine cell, say your pancreas, right? And it's making a hormone, say insulin, right? And the insulin is dumped into the bloodstream, and a cell that doesn't have receptors on the outside just won't respond to it. It'll just keep on traveling, and then all of a sudden it'll come across a cell that does have a protein on the outside with a receptor, and whammo, you have a cell that's going to get the message from insulin to take in sugar from the blood. And you get this response of taking in sugar from the blood and reducing the blood sugar level. And so that's the key thing. The key thing to take away from this is that each of the glands make their hormones. The hormones travel in the blood and find their target because they fit receptors on the outside of the cells, like a puzzle piece. And that's it for how hormones distinguish different organs.